Hello, and welcome back to the A&R podcast. I'm your host, Ryan.
And I'm the other host, Addison.
Today we are reviewing I Am Not Okay With This, created by Jonathan Entwistle and Christy Hall. This series follows a teenager navigating the complexities of high school, family, and her sexuality while dealing with new superpowers. And this TV show is actually based on the comic book by Charles Forsman, who also created the comic book, The End of the Fucking Show. Let's get right into it. I thought this, compared to what we watched last week, Night Gospel, I liked this way better. It was so much more entertaining. It was so funny. It was so just relatable. There were sometimes cringy moments, but I thought it was like so much better. I really like this more.
I don't think I could compare the two personally. I do think it was really good though. I think they did like capture what high school kind of really is like. Instead of, a lot of other shows, like, I'm not going to call anything out, but that really don't represent high school very well.
Riverdale.
Yeah, that's literally what I was thinking about. Oh my god.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I thought it was very, it's like, but I also kind of got the vibe that it was like high school, like right now, like for you and me. It was more of like this show takes place in kind of like a time bubble in a sense. Like it kind of felt like it was like the 80s or something. I don't know. That was personally for me, even though like supposedly it's supposed to take 2020 time. It was just like kind of with like, I guess the color scheme was so like very bland in a sense. It was very like kind of like tan, dark red, stuff like that. So like kind of giving me an 80s vibe. I don't know.
Maybe, I mean, like, we both don't live in, like, a little small town like that in the middle of nowhere, so we don't really know what it's
That
like
is
there.
true.
But,
That is true.
I do agree that it doesn't really take place in a time that we're probably living in, or maybe anybody has lived in. It probably takes elements from a lot of different time periods.
Like, yeah, and it kind of like furthers that point. Like, I feel like with the clothing style, like
Yeah, true.
the actors will dress different than their characters, obviously, because different personalities, whatever. But it just seems like the way that they dress to their person, but like not make sense to like now.
Yeah, it's almost like it was a ton of people who just like shop at a thrift store, I guess, where they're like, yeah, let's throw all these funky elements together, but like, I mean, or like, let's try out this dress that normally wouldn't be fashionable. Like that type of thing.
Who actually like really like the fashion of the characters, though, right?
Yeah, I do
Like
really like
we were
it.
talking about this before. Like, why do you like it? Because say for me, I can't get over the fact of how any of them dress.
Yeah, I like it because, well, all the whole color scheme of both the wardrobe and the settings are just so appealing to me. Like I really like those muted colors. They were like nice looking but also comfy but also like really appealing to the eyes. I don't know how else to explain this very well.
I guess we'll have to. I guess if we're gonna, I'm sorry, but I'm dissing their wardrobe. Because I'm sorry, but other shows like I don't believe that I'm actually saying that this has good stuff. Riverdale, big. Oh god, their wardrobe is at least like in a sense some of the characters. 'Cause some of the characters, that's like. You know what? No, because now I'm thinking about it, like some of the characters dress like these characters. You know what? Maybe it's just. Oh no, I want them to wear like. For some reason, I just want them to wear like really like colorful things because I don't like the fact that it's just all like plain and boring.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense though because the whole thing with and going on about how the town is so boring and everyone's boring. I guess it does reflect how they dress because they dress boring.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually. That would be the case.
Here's the thing though. Maybe Stan should be the one who's kind of wearing like interesting pieces. Obviously, I think it would be kind of hard with him because of the few scenes with his dad. No, not probably. He is abusive, so like there's
Yeah.
that. But like it would just be better if Stan kind of wore like. So I'm not asking them to like walk into a Hollister and grab some stuff, but like I don't know, like mix or match something. I don't know. It's just it's kind of boring to look at, just in my opinion. I feel though that their boring outfits though are contrasted by the way that it is shot. Like the way that they shoot it, especially with like the scenes where Sid is like using her powers. I thought that was, in my opinion, I thought that was like really cool. It was really
Mhm.
spooky. I really like the soundtrack, especially
Oh yeah, the doo doo
uh,
doo. I don't even know
uh
how to say it, but you know. Yeah.
especially when she's in the library being like stalked by Shadow Man or whatever. I
Yeah.
thought that was like a 10 out of 10 soundtrack. 10 out of
Mhm.
10 would listen to again. I'd listen to again just to hear the soundtrack because I
Yeah.
thought that was amazing. So I do like the soundtrack. How these characters aren't even on their own, aren't even on the level of their soundtrack. I'm sorry, but the soundtrack is too good for the show.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm a
It
horrible,
really.
extremely brutal about this. Oh
I mean,
god,
just a little brutal, but you know, it's good.
it's fine. It's fine. What are your opinions on Sid? Because it makes me feel some type of way. I
She
just
makes me feel some type of way.
like
Um,
okay. For me, I feel like okay. So obviously her dad committed suicide. So
mhm.
traumatic. I,
Yeah.
doesn't even go to a therapist. Like, but are you saying there's no like actual therapist? Like, not even one therapist in this whole town? Because
Wait,
like
she does go to a therapist. Well, a counselor, but
school counselor does not count. She
it doesn't
like
count, but it's close enough. Oh
they
man.
only have 20-minute sessions.
I mean, they barely have enough money for food. Do you think they can afford a therapist?
Okay, true, but like, I feel like there should be reference to a therapist, like, because okay, not only does has her dad killed himself, she has anger management issues. I forget if they actually said that was before or after her dad committed suicide. Even still, she should be going to anger management class or something. And
Yeah.
yes, obviously, again, that does cost money and poor. Later, her mom talks about how she works 60 hours a week, and I'm like, okay, that's like a lot. And like,
Yeah.
obviously, that shows how like the like lower class people are struggling a lot. So I feel like it could really like show like how bad it could be if you're saying this very low class family is struggling, and so they literally can't like sin can't get the help that she needs, the family in general, because I feel like the mom Maggie obviously probably has some issues with the fact that her husband killed himself. And I'm sorry, but Liam probably does as well. He's just hiding it behind some like blissful ignorance facade.
Yeah. True.
Back to Sid though, like I feel like if people said like, "Oh, why don't you go to a therapist?" or "Oh, why don't you go to a thing?" Like you could show that, and also she sucks at like she literally sucks at calming herself down. She's calmed down. Like, I won't see her doing anything, like deep breathing exercises or
True.
anything. It's just her yelling at herself, calm down, which does not work. It doesn't work. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, it doesn't really seem like there really is much internet. Does anybody ever pull out a phone in the show? Like a, iPhone or something?
I think in the the first episode, and text um it listen
Oh,
to Blood Witch. I think there was that, and then it probably must have been like sometime in like the detention episode where we see a character pull out their phone or something. I don't know.
yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, they definitely were texting. So I was gonna say, well, maybe, they just don't really have access to the internet where they can just search up how to manage anger, but I guess she can, so that's not an excuse. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, I personally think that Sid is like who she really is unexpected, and so it could be easy to look past who she is and just see the stereotypes that you could put on her. Like, I don't know. Like, I think she does actually care about other people, and you wouldn't expect her to be caring about other people. And
Mm.
then she also seems to actually want help and is trying to really hard to help herself, but she is having a lot of hard thoughts and feelings, and so it's hard for her to focus on that. But she is like using the diary and taking the advice that the counselor is giving her.
Okay. I guess I do agree with your point with the diary thing. But personally, I still disagree because she has a phone. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but let's say I have an anger management issue. I could search up like what to do when my anger flares up or something like that, which I've learned before. Like what it is, breathing exercises. You do exercise because like you like really like tire yourself out. You can't really think about anything except like the basic needs of like survival, so like eating, drinking, whatever like that. She, I guess that you learned she doesn't like exercise in the last episode, which I think was
Mhm.
kind of that was a funny little thing.
Yeah. You know what?
Mm.
Maybe she's having a hard time. Like, maybe she has searched that up. And maybe she has thought about trying it, but it's just like she has so much trauma and like emotions that it's really hard for her to control at the moment. Obviously, there
Hmm.
news there will be a second season and she'll have like
Yeah,
a trainer of some sort, so maybe they'll be helping her.
is going to be interesting because the comic book actually ends after season one, pretty much. Oh,
Oh.
it kind of does. There's a thing I don't want to say because I really don't hope that happens season two. I'm not gonna say it, but it's a not good thing, and I really don't want that to happen.
Wait,
Oh,
what was that?
yeah.
Oh, you
There's
didn't
some.
say. You said you didn't want to say. Okay.
There's something really bad that happened. I really don't want
Okay.
that to be
So let's
like,
just not manifest it.
yeah.
Okay.
Let's move on to our favorite side can. Oh God, I think okay. I
Stan.
actually like Stan. Stan is a good character because so in the first few episodes, I kind of got like a good guy vibe from him. Like he's like, oh, I'm nice to you and stuff like that. The extent of he's expecting Sid to date him is obviously like he's trying to roll with Sid because he obviously everyone knows I'm gonna guess that Sid's father killed himself because there's scene in the bowling alley where he pretty much makes her extremely angry so that she throws the bowling balls with her mind.
Yeah.
Uh, obviously, I think everyone knows that. But anyways, to the point of, I think Stan is a good example of the good guy in a sense. He he does like a girl, but he's not like totally totally pining after her.
Mhm.
Like you kind of see
He's
that in the first episode, but then like he decides to more or less be friends with her, and then like even when he still thinks that she's into guys, he mellows out because he obviously is with like the superpowers and everything that she's got so much to deal with. I think that's really good. And I also really like that I guess to like when Sid really like ends to pretty much being an ass to him, he's like, you know what? No, we're gonna stop being friends because I can't be around people who are like that. So I was really happy that she does say no. He's like, okay, and then but no more, and then he's like, okay, we're not friends anymore, and they become friends again. I'm happy about that. I like him. I think he should have been the main character. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, that would
I'm
have been
sorry.
interesting.
Because especially with his relationship with his father, because he obviously episode 2 where he's talking about how the barber name has had like a generation after generation of horrible men. Obviously, it
Yeah.
doesn't say what makes them horrible, but probably to the extent of maybe abusing their children, because that's what Stan's dad does to him. I feel like it could be very interesting to see how he does. Cause he obviously wants to get out of town,
Mhm.
probably go like produce music or something in the arts. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Probably. I just think he's tried so hard. Like, he. I think he's lonely. That's probably what it is because he's like, I'll
Mm.
get what I can get from this relationship with you because I just really need a friend and you're like the coolest person I know. And like, I mean, I also need a girlfriend. So, that would be cool. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I think he's my favorite character. Because like, he's so like funky and funny. Like in the first few episodes where he's just like doing something like really awkward and it's just funny. I love it.
Yeah. He very much marches to the beat of his own drum.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like he kind of. Oh, I guess is the best way to say it. He's kind of awkward on purpose to seem like, in a sense, oh, I'm quirky, like kind of like. Maybe
Like
it's not
he
him.
enjoys it.
Maybe that's more of like the writers. Because like in the first episode, he's like, "Oh, Sid, how are you?" And then he like walks out with no shoes, and she's like, "Oh, what are you doing without shoes?" And he's like, "Shoes? Who needs them?" Like it's like, why though? Like,
Yeah. I feel like maybe they have a save to like, like I'm an enjoyable person to be around, okay? Like
mm,
who needs shoes?
yeah.
I'm funny. Please enjoy my company. Um
Stan is just a lonely boy.
I mean, that's what I'm making him out to be right now. I feel like he is.
You know
I mean,
what?
he lives alone at this
I
point.
agree with you. Yeah, that is true. He does live alone, except I think
Like,
what 5 days of each month or something.
yeah.
What about Dina though? Do we like Dina?
Oh god. Dina's, I don't know. She's kind of stupid in my opinion. She's like,
What?
she's
Oh,
way, okay. She's kind of too pushy. And also like one of those girls who are just like, oh, same, lol, instead of like actually listening to the other person. Like, come on. I think she
wait,
cares about herself a little bit too much, and also just kind of lives life for the funsies.
wait. She's say that last part again.
Living life for the funsies.
Yeah. Okay. Like, what do you mean by like she pushes? Because
Like,
like I kind
too
of agree.
pushy.
Like
We're
she's
like,
not like forcing anyone to do anything.
yeah, she's kind of like, like Sid's obviously uncomfortable, and she's like, come on, like, oh
Mm.
gosh.
okay, I would like to counter her whole statement about Dina. Say
Okay.
she's kind of awesome. Okay, I do agree she is a little pushy. She's like, oh yeah, you should. Oh, she's kind of pushy, but I feel like that's like her nature of kind of
Mhm.
like. I don't think she lives life for like the funsies. I think she's trying to live her life fullest that she can do. Obviously, she's smart. Oh, she is smart because
Oh
the
yeah.
testing you learn that she's been studying a lot. I guess could make her seem stupid and that she really needed to study for this test. I thought of it as she's a smart person. Smart, she's confident. Like
Maybe.
I think she's a good influence on Sid because like the first episode, obviously she's kind of like very up. Sid is very uptight, angry. Obviously though, because like she has very much reason to. But as Ina keeps pushing her, not like pushing her, but more of like I wouldn't even say pushing her because I would say it pushes herself, and Dina is she's kind of more of like in a sense, like a guardian angel type yes man type person, where it is like, oh, you got invited to that kid's birthday party. It's like, yeah, and then it's like, oh, let's go together then. Dina's like, yeah, let's go because she makes Sid have fun, and we obviously learn later that um
Yeah.
Sid likes Dina, and that makes Dina even a better friend because after Dina learns, in the last episode, but I'll get to that. After Dina
Mhm.
learns that Sid likes her, she's not like, ew, gross. You like girls? Ew.
Yeah.
She's like, no, Sid, let's still be friends. Let's talk about it. Let's try to understand ourselves. Like, I still want to be your friend. You're really cool and stuff. So I really like her. And
Mhm.
then,
Yeah.
I guess the only thing I don't like about her is the fact that she dated Brad.
Oh yeah, that was a poor life choice.
Bradley. Oh,
Hmm.
Dina, come on, girl. Okay,
Yeah.
obviously she's a strong woman because like as soon as Brad like messes up, I shouldn't say messes up. Well, it kind of underplays what he does. After Brad cheats on her, I'll say that. She's
Messes
like,
up.
"No, I ain't taking you back. I'm going. I'm gonna be an independent woman." Oh, I like that about her.
Mhm.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
confident.
Yeah, her confidence is nice.
Just proved your point wrong. Tina's awesome,
Yeah.
except for dating Brad.
I think
I would
mostly
like
just
to
kind of
get into
her.
Brad though. Like,
Oh.
okay, I know that you don't have much to say on him, but I feel okay. Brad is a weird character that the writers made. Like in the first episode, I get that Brad is kind of like douche. She's like, like when they're learning about sex, he says like the joke. It's like, oh, it can be easily held by a Homo sapien woman. I'm like, ah, ha, ha. It's so funny. But it's like that's kind of like a joke that like I shouldn't say any dude, but I'd say that's kind of like a usual dude joke. Like I wouldn't be surprised if I heard that. So
Yeah.
it's like kind of like a dude bro, and then in the next scene where he's in the cafe, it was a little weird for him to ask Sid to hook him and Dina up with some burgers because it's like I don't really know Sid. You're dating her friend, not her, obviously. But I feel that Brad is a genuinely good character. I feel like until like it seems like a switch just flips on him literally, and she's like, okay, I'm gonna be the bad guy now. It's like well, everything changes really in the episode where they get detention together. He's like, you know what, Sid? I just want to be nice to you. I want to be friendly to you and possibly friends down the road for Dina because I like Dina. You like Dina. So that's
Mhm.
be friendly. You know, flip switch, and then you learn that he had sex with Jenny, which I feel like should have used a little more context because I feel like the addition of Jenny is kind of weird.
Yeah,
She
it
pops
was
up in
just
that one
like,
episode and then like nothing else. Like it's
yeah,
like I feel like we should learn a little more about her, in my
it was
opinion.
just like her mom sent her to rehab and she's back and she's taking shots. And then I guess that night Brad and Dina had a fight, and so then Brad was like, "Oh, I guess I'll just go have sex with her." And
Yeah,
then nothing after that, I
yeah.
guess, was between the two of them.
Like
You know
I
what?
feel, yeah. Like I feel like there should have been more like it was only 7 episodes and they were so short. I feel like there should have been maybe like another episode or just longer episodes to explain some stuff. Because, for example, it's just assumed that I forget.
Is it the
I'm
thing about the episode description?
no, I was gonna say
Oh.
when Brad steals Sid's diary,
Oh, yeah.
like is like I guess that's an understandable. Like okay, it's understandable in the sense that you know that if he stole it, it would be bad for Sid, but also why would he
Hmm.
steal a journal? Like it's for me. I just like after thinking about, it, I just assumed okay, so he must have stolen it while Dina. Not even then, because it's like when did he steal the
Yeah.
diary from Sid? Because it's like when
Well,
steal it when Dina, Stan, and Sid were doing the burrito thing because him and Sid were still friends, and then like never like
oh,
left her
shoot,
diary
yeah.
anywhere. So I was like, what
I
what
was,
happened?
I was just thinking, yeah, it was probably then. But yeah, after
Oh
that, at the
yeah,
same place, though, is when that happened. So maybe, like, he got back to her backpack before she did or something weird like that. Who knows?
like no, I think the episode. Oh, in that episode where she goes to the basement and she does all that. That's presumed when Dad steals the diary.
Oh, yeah, weird.
It's like no explanation on that.
I mean,
Oh,
a lot of signs point to Liam, in my opinion,
the,
but it's her brother.
Liam
Because, like,
stealing the diary.
yeah, because right before she realizes it's gone and she goes into the base, or yeah, when she goes into the basement, basically, Liam's really mad at her. And
Hmm.
so it's like, obviously, he was the one who took her diary and was like, I'm just gonna read it because I'm angry at my big sister. But no, that's not the case. Like,
Yeah.
and why didn't she think that that was the case? Why was
Yeah.
that obvious to me and not to her?
Oh no.
Maybe she
Yeah,
was a
it's
brother.
like you need more explanation. Like okay, speaking of Liam's happiness scares. It
Yeah.
seems like he is so emotionally shut off from the fact that his dad killed himself a year prior. He's like, oh yes, we went around to blah 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 blah. It's like, no, your father
Yeah.
killed himself in a basement. Don't be happy. Go to therapy, please. He's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, everything's wonderful. It's like, no, nothing is wonderful. Your life sucks.
Yeah,
You
cuz he
are
was like
poor.
so
You lost your dad.
he was so emotional over his hedgehog. So
Mm,
maybe like yeah, another point where there needs to be more context. Maybe like him and his dad had a really bad relationship or something like that. But then again, like
mm-mm.
him and his sister have such a good one that I feel like he or she would resent each other for not liking or liking their dad.
And we know how Sid and her dad's relationship was. So yeah, like, show needs a little bit more context. Also,
Yeah.
big question: does Liam have superpowers? We got to know.
Oh
We
yeah.
got to know. Obviously, Sid got it through uh like hereditary from her father. So obviously, Liam also get it, or did Do you not get it? So how old is Liam? He's
Um,
like 10, right?
yeah. I'm like,
I'm
he
pretty
could have had a different father. Um, but no, that
maybe.
probably didn't happen. But
Yeah.
I mean, actually, that is plausible because you know, her.
Okay, Liam isn't even. Liam is obviously old. Like, well, obviously not old, but like he's older than the time from his father's death. 'Cause I think when they reference it, it's like, oh, it's been 8 months since father committed suicide in the basement. It's like,
Yeah,
okay, well, Liam obviously isn't a child. Liam, explain why you're always happy.
yeah, that is really weird.
Like,
Um, maybe his father told him, like, yo,
that
maybe
would
his
be
father.
actually
Okay,
really
I
good.
have a theory now. He told his son, I'm gonna go, okay, son, your sister has some superpowers, and I have superpowers too. We're gonna fake my death in the basement, okay, son? um, and yeah, I'm just gonna disappear, but you'll see me
That's
again.
dark. That's so
It's
dark.
very dark, but it is a
Actually,
show. It's not anybody's
it,
real life. um, so it's
honestly,
plausible.
it'd probably be in tune for the show to do something dark like that. But like, okay, and again, if that theory is possibly true, we need more context on his suicide. We obviously know
Yes.
why he killed himself because
We don't know how.
he was a Marine, and then I think did like some atom bomb explode. He probably did when Sid screamed in the woods, but like did that to humans and just like ripped their flesh off or something like that and killed them all.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm imagining, something like that. And then now he's like, "Oh God, I just killed everyone." Um, yeah, like how did he go? So because honestly, for me, I was just thinking, okay, he probably hung himself or something like that.
hmm Like, the explanation of how he killed himself could really make or break what is happening. It would
True,
really
very,
explain a
very
lot of
true.
things.
Okay, that would be crazy though. What about if his mom Maggie was somehow also in on it?
That's what I was just
He
thinking. I'm
knows that
like,
Sid has superpowers.
yeah,
Everyone in the family knows that Sid has superpowers, and they're all playing a trick on her.
yeah.
So
I mean,
that's a
technically,
little.
they've never talked about it, so, like, I don't know. Maybe they don't know that she already's figured out she has the powers. I mean,
Like obviously the way that Maggie talks about how her father was struggling or battling with something inside him in that thing. One, the way that made it seem depression. Then when you also think about it, it's like I was obviously before he went like atom bomb style in the war zone. So obviously maybe it was like like the responsibility of having such superpowers, and she wanted to say that because maybe she wants her daughter's abilities to. Because then she then also says like, oh, if you're ever having feelings like that, maybe not maybe tell me,
yeah.
right? Because she
Oh my
doesn't want her
gosh.
daughter to kill himself. Because oh my god, every time
There's so many
Maggie
theories.
doesn't want to unlock her powers. Who doesn't want to say anything about them? Wants to know that as his dad killed himself, like what happened to him, which was horrible. But she doesn't want to say anything about powers because she doesn't want Sid to unlock her powers because then maybe Sid could fall down the same path that her father did.
Maybe
Um,
these powers aren't even like genetic. Maybe it was something in the Marines that was like an experiment and he was like, "Oh wow, it worked on me. Let's see if we can do it to a child." Um or something
I
weird
would
like that.
so like kind of like Stranger Things style.
I
That
forgot
could
what
be
happened in
interesting.
Stranger.
Where they like do the testing on 11 so that she becomes
Oh,
psychic.
yeah, yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Exactly like that.
Oh my god, wait, and it parallels the same thing of Small Town.
Yeah, we love small
80s
towns.
vibe.
And the 80s vibe. Oh my gosh, is this a Stranger
Ooh.
Things remake?
Ugh.
except
Both in
she doesn't know.
the room. Like, okay.
Oh man,
Maggie, though? I
Maggie.
like Maggie. You like her? I
Okay,
need to know.
you know what? Do I like her? I think. Well, I thought she was an idiot. Um,
What?
I thought, well, not necessarily an idiot. I'm using that as a not accurate description. I think she's a narcissist, but only because of her husband dying. We can ignore all the theories we just had. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, I feel like she's just really proud of herself. Like, oh my gosh, I'm keeping this family floating, and my child does not care about me and what I'm doing and how hard I'm working, and she just doesn't put any effort into the family or our relationship, which I mean is kind of true. It's
Very
true.
true, honestly.
Um, but
You
like,
need to add to your adjustment.
I feel like she's just kind of getting really narcissistic. And I feel like her narcissism is making Sid more angry, and then Sid's anger is making her more narcissistic. And it's just getting bad. But
Cycle.
then at the end, they have that little conversation, right? And so
Mhm.
Sid's probably now a little bit more, you know, chill with her mom because she's like, okay, I got some closure. The closure came from my mom, and like we're chill now. So maybe like the narcissism will die down in the next season if she ever sees her mom again.
Yeah, you gotta talk about ending. But, like, I don't want to say Maggie is a narcissist. Like, I do get what you're saying, how Maggie goes on about, like, oh, I'm doing XYZ for this family. Like, I I get where Maggie is coming from. Like, obviously, obviously being a Marine, I'm pretty sure isn't like. No, I'm not pretty sure. I am sure that's not the best paying job. So, you know, like it could have still been poor with Dad still around. Maggie, after the death, would say, Maggie is just, she's lost her support system. Her family does seem to be falling apart with polar opposites. Sid going and Liam acting like, I want to say nothing's changed because we obviously don't know pre-suicide family like,
Yeah.
dynamics. But he's acting like everything's cool, it's chill, it's fine. And Maggie is, she's working 60 hours on her feet all day as a, obviously it's gotta take a physical toll on her, probably an emotional toll on her as well because she probably has to deal. She's probably also angry like Sid. Not as angry as Sid, but she's probably angry and confused because uh, the father, he kills himself. She doesn't even know. He just does it. You're saying narcissism, the fact that she's keeping. I would say that's more for her. I feel like it's more, it kind of like self help in a sense. It's like, okay, I got this. I can keep this family afloat. I
Yeah.
will have to bust ass do it, but I can still do it. Even though I
That's
have
true.
lost my husband, I will still make sure that Sue gets into a good college, Tim gets into a good high school and then college, and then they'll have a great life, and, and I'll be happy for that. Because for Maggie, all she knows. Oh, I think it's more or less obvious of why the dad kills himself because he obviously couldn't take the toll of the powers and kills everyone and for his own. Um, but like it could be on the fact that Aggie might have been a bad wife, or she could have thought that because um, I do agree she doesn't exactly have the most likable personality. Oh no, I thought Maggie was just trying her best. She was trying her best with what she had, and she has very little. I do agree with you with the cycle thing of like Sid making her more angry. I don't think it's more narcissistic, but I think it's more I think it's like an anger cycle. When Sid gets more angry, Maggie gets more angry at Sid for being angry, and then Sid gets more mad at Maggie for being angry at her, and then just cycling. Till yes, I do agree with the ending, or with the little chat thing about like how I forget what they said, but it was something really like that.
So, with Maggie, after you said all that, I'm actually now, I think, agreeing that the things that come out as narcissism to me is probably just her reinforcement in a little bit of a toxic way, but still just her reinforcing herself to keep going. Like, the things where she says, like, I'm a friggin' good mom, when she's, like, being rude to her daughter. And then also,
Yeah,
like, I like Dina more than you. Like,
that
come
was a
on. That's
little.
your child.
You could say that to your child, but if you say it like in a joking sense, you have like a good relationship with them, the child would be like, "Oh, mom," but like right off the bat, we know that they have a horrible relationship. And then you say that right in front of your child.
Yeah, it's rough.
But the ending though, like the ending,
The
I like
ending.
Brad's head just being boom.
Oh, gross. You know, my
Like,
first thought once his head blew up was, wow, that was astounding. Like, what the
hmm.
heck happened there? Just a bomb went off in there? Okay.
I do want to say something though, which I thought was like, so I rewatched the episode. I thought it was hilarious. And he's in a football field, and he's talking about how he's gonna expose Sid for being a lesbian with superpowers. He's like, it's gonna be freaking mind blowing. And I was like,
Oh my gosh.
oh my god, they did not just say that. Like,
Yeah,
oh, and then like literally, it's mind blowing fact that is
literally. Oh my gosh. Wait, I don't remember that part. Wait, was Sid listening to that?
no, he was at
Oh, okay.
it was right before it was at night where he was in the football field with his friend and during the pick.
Okay, I see. Because I was gonna
Yeah,
say
yeah, yeah.
maybe like her subconscious like was like, okay, this is how he said it would go. Um,
That would have been 10 times more hilarious.
yeah,
Like,
and also would have like pointed to maybe the fact that like subliminal messaging to her could affect her powers, but no, that's not the case. Not the case.
yeah, like, then it is like, shut up, just shut up. I personally thought that I didn't know it was gonna happen, but I thought it was gonna be something with like the mouth. I thought like
Mm.
this is kind of weird and it's probably not as gross as seeing a head explode, but I thought like his jaw was gonna rip or something. Like his jaw was
Oh,
gonna break. He literally couldn't talk. He
yeah.
would
I
literally
was
have to
expecting
shut
his
up.
neck to snap.
Oh, that would have been good.
Like, it also wouldn't have been it would have been more easily explainable and pointed toward like a perpetrator because you couldn't like go, "Oh yeah, like nobody snapped his neck." Like somebody would have had to do that, and there was such a crowd around there that it they would have had to perpetrate Sid. But at this point, like, what explanation is anybody gonna give? Like, they walk in, they're like, "This guy's head is gone." Um,
And they can't like what, what are you gonna rule that as? Like a murder, suicide, uh,
death to
like
unknown
what are
medical
you gonna
causes.
do? And they just gonna throw out the case? Like his
Yeah,
head exploded. The only way that I could work is if like there was like a bomb planted in his
yeah,
skull or
like in
something
the
like that.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
Oh
but that's what I was
gosh.
kind of thinking.
They're
And
like,
then
yeah, I think he joined the Suicide Squad, guys. This is explainable. Yep.
very much. Okay, I feel like everyone's reaction though is like weird. Like, oh, no, that makes sense that everyone's screaming and running, stuff like that. They're like,
Yeah.
oh my god! You don't see
Yeah.
Dina's reaction though. I wanted to
So
see Dina's reaction because I thought she would literally lose it.
yeah,
To
she
see,
seems like that
like,
type of person.
to literally see your ex have his head blown up right in front of your face, like,
Oh man.
after he. Okay. Yeah, the ending though, like, ending has so much. Dina coming out as bisexual, I was like, ooh, there's gonna be a
Ooh.
relationship here. I was so excited when she was like, I didn't not like it. I was like, ooh, Dina.
Yeah.
You like
I was
Sid?
like,
Hey.
yeah.
I was happy for that because I was like, okay, we got a good lesbian relationship up in here.
Mhm. Once like
Maybe.
that happened, I like
Mm.
kind of thought, there's no way they can just go off into the sunset at this point. Something bad has to happen now. Like they can't just leave it this nice, can they?
Yeah.
Oh
And
gosh.
like I'm jumping around a little bit, but like let's jump after his head gets or Brad's head gets exploded. And then Sid runs away to the tower, and then the man who's like Oak but also a man. Like, let's learn how to use your superpowers because they should fear you. So, did you say that you thought that that was Sid's father?
Well, that would be too obvious. But that could be a theory.
I don't think it's Sid's father
Yeah. I
whatsoever.
mean, it's not that plausible, but
'Cause here's
just,
why. Because we obviously know that Sid's dad. Like, okay, his dad, after doing the whole bomb thing in the war zone, he obviously gets depression by the way that Meg talks about him. There's a very depressive tendency, laying in bed, literally doing nothing, being soulless, whatever,
oh yeah.
after killing someone. So it would be weird because he's like, they should fear you. Like, are you
Mm.
telling Sid to go blow up more heads of people?
Yeah. Yeah, you're
Like
right.
I don't know
Be
who he
that
is. I
confident.
really, I really hope there's like a good explanation. Like, because that also gives me a theory. Okay, is like I think it was back to your thing where you were saying, oh yeah, people in the military were testing people. Like that could make like,
Mhm.
that could make sense on this. This man could be like, oh, I'm a test subject.
Ooh.
So are you? And we're going to kill the government because they messed with our bodies.
Maybe, just maybe, this is like another realm that's trying to interfere with humans, or another like extraterrestrials doing something
Hmm.
here.
I feel like that would be kind of a little too extra, though.
It
You
would be
know?
too extra. It would be
Yeah.
too much effort.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
They would have, like right now. I feel like there needs to be a little more explanation on. I feel like
Oh
little more explanation of pre-father suicide dynamics. We understand that.
oh yeah. You know, here's some things I would like to be in season 2. Some
Hmm.
flashbacks. Some
Very much so.
flashbacks.
Agreed. Agreed.
Either things that weren't included in this season that happened in this season, or things that happened before the death. Or both. I would love to have both.
Hmm.
Another thing that I would like is to see the cops' reaction going in and figuring out. Maybe FBI?
Hmm.
I'd like to
Yeah.
know their reaction and
Hmm.
just how they're figuring things out. I think that'd
Yeah.
be so
Like
funny.
I feel like that could give it. There are very comedic elements in the show. I feel like that would be a very funny thing to see. Just like
Mm-hmm.
have it as a kind of like a side plot thing of like, how'd his head explode? Like I feel like if it is like government experimentation on these people, then they would already know that it's like, oh, a human with like whatever they would be called, like let's just say they're called like, I don't know, mind sploders. Another mind sploder.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like they bring the FBI in and they already know what's going on.
Okay, and I also feel like there should be more on Sid's pimples. It's like that's
Unsid's
such
what?
a weird Sid's pimples. I feel
Oh
like
yeah.
that's such a weird thing to bring up. It's like, oh, I have
Oh.
pimples and I tried everything to ruin them. It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like, is that just supposed to be like, oh, relatable, quirky teen stuff? We all get pimples on our thighs. Like, I
That
don't want to
makes so
flex or
much
anything,
sense.
but
Right.
I don't have acne at all. Like, literal no acne. Is that
Stop
like
flexing,
like
Ryan.
I'm sorry. Like, is that like how relating to her superpowers? Like, it's like I don't even know.
That would be
Like,
interesting.
like, it's so odd to have in. It's like I feel like the only reason they have that the only reason that they have it in right now. How Ed and Stan can bond more in a sense. And she has a deepest, darkest secret that she can say that she's like, well, my deepest, darkest secret is my thigh pimples. And then Stan's like, well, I
Yeah.
got back knee. And I was, this is a gross scene.
Yeah. You
I'm
know,
sorry if that makes me sound stupid, but I was like, I don't want to watch children talk about their acne. Thank you.
yeah. I mean, that could happen if like somebody's injecting hormones right into her thigh or like
Hmm.
some type of drug or something that could be like inflaming the area. Hormones
Hmm.
would probably be more likely, but like what's going to do that? Um
Yeah.
hmm. Or maybe like an oil. Some like weird oil that like her brother's rubbing on her like dad told me to do this.
Dad
No, I'm
told me to
kidding.
say
I'm
apply
kidding.
this once a day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That would be that would be very funny.
That would be so
Uh,
weird.
no, I feel like there should be more explanation. Okay, overall though, I feel like even though there are some unexplained things that do like totally unexplained and other things that need more explaining, like this show is so good, and I like this show should literally be recommended to every single person on this planet.
Every
That's
single person.
literally every single, even like a child. As soon as it comes out of the womb, just turn on the show for it and watch. Because I feel like this is kind of like the show The Boys on Amazon Prime, where it's looking at having powers in a darker way, where it's not all of like I'm a superhero now, so I'm super nice and super cool, and I'm gonna go get the girl and blah blah. It's like no, having superpowers kind of sucks. Like the difference between The Boys and this is that The Boys in that series, all the superheroes kind of use their powers for bad, and then in this one, you kind of doesn't use it for doesn't use it intentionally for
Yeah,
bad
it's kind of
purposes
more
because
just.
she does do it for um, bad things by accident, but it shows
Yeah.
like how hard of a responsibility it is to have like just powers in general. Not even like doesn't even have like a villain trying to stop her. She has to like master her kinesis, throwing bowling balls to like kill someone. It's just her having the responsibility to be able to control like killing someone during like math class, whatever. So I thought that was really good because it can you could kind of say that the powers are kind of like a symbol for like stress.
Yeah,
You have
yeah,
to
yeah.
figure out
That's what
how
I
to
was
relate,
thinking.
regulate your stress that you don't like, literally boil over, which is
Yeah.
obviously one of Sid's favorite tendencies to do.
I was thinking like this is kind of showing what the world feels like inside
Mhm.
on the outside.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I get it because it's like really it's like kind of like peeking into someone's head.
I have two. I have maybe like two or three things.
Alright.
Um, well, four, but I'm not gonna go to the fourth one. Okay, so in the title of episode 6 is like father, like daw, and then dot dot dot. Like it should complete
Daughter.
daughter, but it doesn't complete the word, which I
Sit
thought
down.
was interesting and could like show
Oh,
both how she's at a loss for words, like, oh my gosh,
it
this is
does.
me as well, but like I don't want that to be me, and so I want to take control of it. It's not me. No.
I would like to prove you wrong, and that is
Yeah.
you. If you go on the computer, it says that that fully is. You're just probably watching on an iPad and all the characters, because it does say like father, like daughter.
Oh, it does. Damn it.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm just a little dumb right now.
it's okay. It's
No, I'm
a
watching it
little.
on the computer though. Dude, what is this?
Does like
How
father,
dare it
like
do me
daughter.
like this? You know
And
what? Okay, scratch
you're just
that.
like made you seem stupid.
It did make me seem stupid. I'm
How
so
do you
sorry.
feel?
I feel a little sad that they didn't. They. Uh, I'm at a loss for words myself. Um. So, the other thing is that in regards to the dialogue, I feel like they talk about sex like way too leniently.
Oh,
Like,
and
I feel like
mhm.
teenagers, especially like girls in their mother's workplace with their brother nearby, wouldn't just be like, "Oh yeah, I had sex with a guy," and then the other girl be like, "Oh my gosh, I had sex with a guy." Like, they, I don't feel like that's normal. I just
uh,
don't.
I feel like it's normal for like someone like say
Yeah,
that. Like, oh, like I kind of agree that. Oh, like, it's more just Dina doing the talking. Like, oh, you had sex with
yeah,
Stanley Barbara? Oh, did you like it? And she's just giving like one word answers, like
true.
one, 2 word answers. She's like, oh yeah, it was okay. Like that.
Well, that makes more
Like,
sense.
I do agree though. In general, the show has, well, obviously, because that's the show's purpose to be like, oh yes, I'm going to teach you how to have sex, children. That's more of like shows for like
Mhm.
sex, sex education. I could not say words. Shows like that where it actually does. I kind of, I kind of thought it was funny the way that they talk about it. They,
Yeah.
especially for me, they talked about it in a sense of, it's more or less the girls kind of doing the talking. It's
Mhm.
kind of how the I hear guys talk about it. It's just like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, smashed this girl yesterday, and I'm gonna go hook up with that one tomorrow, stuff like that. I'm just like, it's too relatable to
Yeah.
hear. Like I'm a
That
very
makes
like in that
sense.
situation, I'd be a very timid person. I'd be like, let's get this conversation over with as fast as possible.
Let's just sprinkle a little sarcasm in there. Uh, yeah.
Oh, what were your other 2 points you had?
Oh, okay. Well, one of the okay, I'll just say the one that I wasn't gonna talk about because whatever. It was
Hmm.
about Bradley because okay,
Bradley.
yeah, Bradley, because you know what, you're right. I'm realizing he's not that bad of a person. He I think he's just doing what he thinks he's supposed to do, like to make himself feel good in whatever
Hmm.
situation he's put in. He's like,
Hmm.
well, since my whole social life is going downhill because of this girl, I might as well ruin her social life and then I'll be happy with myself and just happy in general.
Yeah.
So,
Uh,
I guess he's just confused about which way to go with his motives.
mm. I do agree with that because, like, uh, 'cause his life does start spiraling after rumors that he caught an STD from Jenny,
Mm-hmm.
kind of turn him into, I want to say a loser, more of like a pariah, I guess. This score, because it's like, it was so popular and cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, now no one wants to be near him because they're afraid to catch gonorrhea or something.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you say all your points now so I don't
You
cut
know
you
what?
off?
Okay. Last one is that they
That's
put
one.
in a lot of cliches. And I guess made them normal. They didn't make them too cliche, but they did use the trope of the cliches, like the sex ed class, the high school dance, the high school party. Like, okay. I
The
mean, I guess
quirky
that
best friend
happened.
character.
Yes, the quirky best friend character. Oh gosh.
Now thinking about it, I've just realized that there are cliches in this show.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them. But I mean, they didn't make them bad, which is good. Like,
Hmm.
they didn't make them unenjoyable. They made them enjoyable. Oh, detention. Almost forgot that one.
Yeah.
I'm done now.
Breakfast Club style, pretty much. Maybe
Yeah.
not. I don't know. I've never seen the Breakfast
Oh,
Club.
gym class? I mean, I know people go to gym class, but like running track in gym class?
Is that a thing? I don't get that in TV shows. I've never run track in gym class. I have, but like that's not like an opening thing that I do.
Yeah,
I
it's like
did, I
twice
guess.
a year or once a year in middle school.
Yeah.
Like,
Then in high school we did that like once or twice for presidential fitness again.
oh. Yeah, we just kind of had not really
Hmm.
anything at my school. Like weightlifting for half a semester, dancing.
Woo.
Oh yeah, we did like 70s dance videos.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Really? Wow.
Wait, it wasn't even half a semester. It was half a semester. I meant like it wasn't half a year. It was half a semester. The other half was sex ed. Oh god. I'll stop talking to
Some.
myself now.
Okay. Oh, I guess that actually does a review of the show. I am not okay with this.
Hmm.
I am your co-host Ryan.
And I'm the other co-host, Addison,
We will see you next Wednesday.
where we will have a higher quality review of The Politician on Netflix. So, check us out next Wednesday if you want to hear that.